Hello and welcome to Lauralign Yoga. Today I will be focusing on my core and my hamstrings. So you can get comfy and join me however you like. Let's go. Hello. Go ahead and take your glasses off and get comfy. Join me on the mat. Today I am going to try and lead us through a genuine moving meditation. So we'll see how this goes, especially because I would like to work on my core and my hamstrings. So we want to start out breathing deeply. Go ahead and sit or lay down for the start of this one if you like. I'm going to sit for a minute, but I will probably move to laying down sometime in the first few minutes. We're going to spend some time here just settling in before we start to work any core. So take your time, especially if you're sleepy, sore, tired, all of the above. And just try to forget about everything that happened today up until now. So all we want to think about is what we're doing right now, which is just breathing. I like to have a few affirmations handy or phrases that I go to whenever I'm meditating or trying to get into a meditative type of breath, which should essentially be always in yoga, but I don't know if y'all can hear those sirens, but there's a whole bunch of something going on outside. But do your best to try to block all that stuff out, she says, as she doesn't block it out. Goo, are you eating foam? Excuse me, Gooba. No, sir. No. Someone's been destroying my yoga blocks, y'all, and I just caught Goo eating this. Like, in the last couple days, these two blocks are absolutely destroyed. So, I mean, they're still usable, but really don't think cats should be eating foam. So we're gonna put that over there for now and I'll deal with it later. There's also, I've been noticing some little foam pieces around here. Anyways, we're gonna forget about all of it here together. And we're gonna settle in and just breathe for a few minutes. If you're not already on your back, you may go ahead and move there now if you like, or if you're comfortable where you are, stay there. Try to relax all the muscles in your face, especially those around your eyes. We tend to squint and tighten that area around our eyes all the time. I can actually feel my nose and my cartilage in my nose and stuff relaxing whenever I relax that area around my eyes as well. In fact, let's go through a breathing body scan. I've kind of been doing this one lately, and it's a little different than a normal body scan, which we haven't even gone over in any of my videos yet. But if anyone's familiar with a body scan, you'll see this one's a little different. So as I breathe, I like to think of myself as scanning up my body or scanning down my body depending on the breath. So obviously breathing in would be up, and out would be down. And as I'm doing so, each breath, I choose to focus on just one thing in that breath that I can release a little bit of tension. So you can scan up the body, starting with your feet, and say you stop at your ankles. That's fine. As you're scanning down your body in the next breath, start at your head. So eventually you'll meet in the middle. And if that's not driving well with you, then you can just use a simple phrase such as in and out. Try to lengthen your exhale as much as possible, as that will cause your heart rate to slow and your body to be more relaxed. Yes, Goo? I don't know where Goo is. Oh, Magic Girl. What are you doing, sneaky squirrel? Pretty girl. I hear Goo whining somewhere, but Maggie was there. Where's Goo? I'm trying to meditate, Goo. Can we not fight right now, please? Thank you. If your mind is wandering just a little bit or distracted by the things going on around you, as I'm well familiar with, that's all right. You don't need to get frustrated about it. Just let it go and return to the breath and your scan or your phrase or whatever is anchoring you to the present moment. Now, this could also be the technique of becoming the observer, where you're looking at yourself as if from above, like in your mind's eye. Okay. As always, moving with a mindfulness. we will meet up with those who chose to remain seated. So however you want to get up, feel free to also do a little lower back love, hip love by gathering your knees to your chest and doing a little wiggle like such. You can even incorporate a slow, lazy twist here. So eventually we will reach seated. And find your way into all fours for a cat-cow. So hands underneath the shoulders, elbow creases to the front, push up away from the earth. And same thing on the back, so knees and hips stacked. You're going to press into the tops of your feet. And you should be able to feel a nice balance. Bring the front body up to meet the back, and we are in tabletop position. So flat back as much as you can anyway. For me, I'm never quite sure what this pose looks like until I view the video, so you're not alone if you can't quite get there. Yoga teachers, we always reiterate, it's not about the shape, it's just about how you feel. So just make sure you're aligned as much as you can correctly, and you can drop the belly now. Lift the chin. Tuck the chin under and curve here for cat. So if you're trying to sync movement with breath, you're gonna drop your belly. So cat on the inhale, cow on the inhale and cat on the exhale. But really take your time, especially if you have super tight and sore shoulders like I currently do. I kind of move in back and forth from cat-cow and child's pose as well. So don't feel like you have to stay in cat-cow or any sort of position. You can always kind of move about as you will. I don't normally like to have my hair up for these practices, but I feel like it's about to get all up in my mouth when I'm talking, so. As always, coming back to the breath. Now, core work, which we're gonna start to move into, can be really challenging, and I am super new to working with my core, even though I've been doing yoga pretty much daily for like 3-ish years now, which is crazy, because I can't really do anything like super hardcore, but when you're dealing with body issues and using yoga as a healing, then I don't feel bad about it or anything. It's just interesting, the journey here. Anyways, I digress. I don't even know where I was going with that, but we are so, I know where I was going with it. We are so prone as humans, especially those of us who are self-conscious about our stomachs, let's just say that, tend to like suck it in, and I found myself doing that in a way that was not helpful to my back, my hips. I was holding so much tension just from doing that. So as I focused more on how I stand and move when I'm off the mat, I am able to breathe into my diaphragm more actively. So I do suggest doing some diaphragmatic breathing exercises on and off the mat. I'm not an expert in that by any means, just one who is practicing that myself. So there's plenty of resources about it on YouTube and the interwebs. So basically you just want to feel like you're breathing from this area of your like low ribs. And it's really cool because when you breathe from there, for me, it feels like it activates your core a little bit already. Like you're already just getting in the correct breath will activate your core more. So we're gonna, if you've been joining me in this little weird cat, cow, child, cat, child, cow, child, cat, child, cow thing, whatever, words. Right, Goo? Say yeah. I'm gonna come and be a distraction. Yeah. You know what, bye. Okay, bye. Okay. So, anyways, we're gonna move back to cat cow, or all fours as it were, and do something called a hovering cat. If you're having any issues with your upper body, you can do this on your elbows, no problem. In fact, I will join you there. I'll do both so you can see what it looks like. So basically you're all fours here, and you're gonna lift up your knees and leave your feet on the ground. So you're basically pushing up from the tops of your feet, and you can really start to feel this in your core. Here we go. Couple breaths here. I'll join you elbowers here. It doesn't even need to be lifted that much. So I definitely feel a fire in my core already. Do that for as long or as little as you would like. And I would like to move into a plank at this point. Goo is being so, his meow is just so whiny and cute. I just can't with him. He's like a little baby, but he's not a baby anymore. All right, so I'm gonna go into a plank here. Oh, by the way, always feel free to rest between poses. Obviously, you can drop it back to a extended child's pose here. If you need some room between your legs here for your belly, feel free to widen the knees. This feels awesome anyway. So you can do an extended child's pose like this. Maggie, why are you guys being so distracting today? They like never, is it because I'm talking during my yoga practice? Because they're never usually so bothersome. I mean, in a good way, of course. They're my children, but it's like they just want my attention right now. Okay. Going into the plank. I just want to do it for a couple breaths. Feel free to do this one on your elbows or with your knees on the ground. Shaking is a good thing. I find it's more of a mind over matter here. And down dog whenever you have had your fill of your plank. Okay, I'm gonna get up off these shoulders here and actually go into an up dog. So if you're feeling down dog, by all means, go for it. But otherwise, you can meet me in like a baby cobra or regular cobra, upward facing dog, basically some sort of gentle back bend of your choice. Trick here is pressing into everything touching the mat and almost activating those parts of your body. Your pelvis, tops of your feet. My shins aren't even touching the mat. Feel free to rest your head. Okay, so I'm trying to work my core into small bursts, or not into small bursts, is what I feel like I just said, in small bursts. Because A, I really don't like core work, I'm not gonna lie to you, and B, my body has just been through it, so it's like, can and want to, just battling with both of those, so it's like, can I? And do I want to? So today we're about it, but I just gotta know not to push myself like every single day. So I'm back in a hero's pose right now. So basically like a child's pose where your shins and tops of your feet are touching the ground and your bum can be on your heels or not. It might not reach, and that's fine. You can always put a pillow between. But instead of our foreheads touching the mat, like in child's pose, our bodies are lifted. I'm doing an Anjali Mudra here just for balance. And trying to relax every part of my body. I am constantly trying to notice my tension patterns and habits that I do in the way that I sit and stand and move, and trying to realize when I am doing myself a disservice by not moving correctly. So if you know what I'm saying, then great. And if you have no idea, then I totally get it. But anyways, just trying to be more mindful of how we move is life-changing in that we can prevent future tension from happening, potentially. So I'm still in the healing phase, but obviously eventually I will be in the preventative phase, and can't wait. So, all right. At this point, you can move back into a cat-cow if you feel like you need a wiggle a little bit. Stick that booty up in the air. Wiggle that thing around like you just don't care. Free movement like this can feel really nice, especially if you just kind of focus on your breath and let your body just do whatever it needs to do. Your body knows best, so. That being said, from your little wiggly cat-cow thingy, you can go back to seated, either Sukhasana, the easy pose, or cobbler. I like this one because it's a really nice hip opener, but in the past I have been known to, and actually could still very much benefit from, sticking these blocks underneath here, so we're going to do that. So that way you can relax the weight of your legs and really feel more of a pressing down in everything touching the ground. So your sit bones, your feet, find some ease in sitting up straight. I know it can be difficult. I'm still working on it. But you can always come back to your belly breath as much as you can here. The ultimate goal is to end up in boat pose, excuse me, boat pose. So enjoy this little bit of breathing here. Lean forward if you like. You can always touch the ground with your forehead if you have the flexibility to do so. I very much do not. But hey, one day. Can go into a Dandasana here, or staff pose, or even Paschimottanasana. Seated forward fold, touch your toes if you like, but still remain straight in the spine. Feeling a really great stretch in my hamstrings right now. And we're basically going to take this now into boat pose. If you put a block between your legs, that can really help create some resistance and maybe be a little easier to hold the legs up. Just give it a try if you're unsure. I don't like the way my hair is pulling my forehead back. Oh yeah, I didn't do my little scratchy. I always do some scratching of the scalp and the head when I'm laying down at the beginning of my sessions, but recording them lately I've been forgetting, so hopefully I can start remembering. But I guess as long as I do it at some point, it doesn't really matter when you do it. It's always going to benefit you to give yourself a little love, so I invite you to join me for a little surprise scalp massage here. I'm not even using my nails. I'm just trying to, ooh, it feels really good. Like if you wear glasses, feels good up in the temples and behind the head. Okay. All right. Here we go. So you can always leave, like even just doing this and leaning back just a bit and remaining straight in the spine is doing core work. So don't feel like you have to do this next part, but if you wanted to join me for a more traditional boat pose, you're gonna lift up those feet. And we're breathing. Okay. Point those toes. Have your shins as parallel with the mat as you can. Please hold on to your legs if you need to. Ooh, take breaks if you need to. I don't think I'm done with boat pose for today, so if you can keep going, then go for it. You do you. If you are already over it and you're in child's pose, I don't blame you, but that's where we're headed next, is child's pose, so go ahead and go for it. Actually, you know, do child's pose if you like, but I think ultimately from here I'm just going to end up on my back because, I mean, it'll be easier. So, JK about the child's pose, but you do you, as always. Okay. And here we go. Number 2. That belly breath coming in handy. And don't push it. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm at my limit right now. So we're just gonna move into a nice supine twist before lovely, beautiful Shavasana. So meet me on your back. And you can bend your knees and then kind of scooch your hips to one side. So I moved my hips to the left side and I'm gonna drop my knees to the right side, keeping my hips stacked. Both shoulders on the ground. Breathe deeply and enjoy the stretch. I'm moving to my other side and doing the same, but you can feel free to stay there for as long as you like, as long as you eventually do the other side so you can remain balanced. It feels wonderful. So Stay there if you like, but I'm gonna go ahead and move into Shavasana. Breathing audibly as you reflect and give thanks to yourself for the act of love that you just did for yourself. I can't say I always want to do core work, so I'm thankful that I did, and it's only going to benefit me, so. Thank you for joining me in this practice. And I challenge you to move a little more mindfully off your mat as much as you can. And I will see you next time. Peace.